It's some of the hardest stuff to get because of, well, it's not just the gun. You also got to get it all perfect. And, well, some of them are easier than others and less worth it than others. So this is my top hand cannons to grind for video, and I hope you guys will be enjoying it. This will be only top 3. Our first up on the list is the Ice Luna. This weapon can be obtained through Classic playlist and Rise of Iron playlist outside of Iron Banner and Trial of Osiris. It can be difficult to get a god roll, but this can kill in 1 headshot and 2 body shots. Wait, no. 2 headshots and 1 body shot, my bad. And it's easy to line those up, but if lining those shots up was as easy as getting a good roll, it would not be on here. Good rolls on this weapon include something consisting of rifled barrel, rangefinder, and things along those lines to help range, because it's kind of where this weapon kind of falls, especially after the mid-February patch with the nerf to base range of these hand cannon archetype, not decreasing their potency nearly as much as I believe Bungie should have. And now, it is quite the difficult thing to get easily, but is definitely well worth the grinding, and finds yourself being able to outgun multiple of the more used weapons today, especially with the lack of special ammo. The only stuff that can really destroy you is when you're out of position or something along those lines, making this a very potent weapon to wield against pretty much everybody. So we will move on now. Okay, here with number 2, we have the Palindrome. An incredibly potent weapon can be obtained from Crucible packages and True Meaning of War bounties. That's about it. And also the Vendor. Speaking of the Vendor has an incredibly effective roll, pretty close to perfect. Some might say it is perfect. So this isn't really one you have to work too hard for, but it is definitely worth giving a try if you don't like the roll that the Vendor has, which you should, because it's amazing. And this is my personal roll with Hidden Hand and Outlaw. It's not the perfect thing, but I did not buy the Vendor roll, and because I didn't really like it was meta back then, and I haven't got it since the patch, and it just wasn't worth buying into me. So it's a really great weapon, despite the gameplay. I'm sorry that this is not perfect, but I'm not used to that CQC kind of stuff. I'm more for scout rifle, fusion rifle combos and stuff, which is why I was so surprised I loved that Kvastov thing. That thing's pretty good, but that is not the object of this video. It can kill just like the Ice Luna in 2 headshots and 1 body shot. It, however, cannot stand up to Sunbreakers, as you just saw. You're gonna need Team Shot or another super for that, fellas. And it is overall a very solid weapon, and it's consistent, and I don't really see any major flaws with it other than its range, but once you get a god roll, which is what this is about, you should be fine, because it's really not too bad. It's worth grinding for. And now we're moving on to number 3. Our good old Imago Loop / Fatebringer.
Lost the lead.
Alright, here we are with Imago Loop, and thanks to its pretty much obvious exterior that resembles the amazing Year 1 Vault of Glass raid weapon, Fatebringer, you are kind of, well, obviously going to get some reputation for what you want the god roll to look like. It would be a range perk, True Sight IS scope, Outlaw, and Firefly. Explosive rounds is also a nice perk instead of range if you like closer up hand cannons. my current rule is far from a god rule, but is still effective to use. The reactive reload out. I think it's outlaw. No, that's Palindrome. I have reactive reload and hot swap on it, which is good because I find myself getting notoriously bad spawns when I use this weapon, and hot swap has saved me in multiple of those spawns. Also, the weapon is incredibly consistent and is in the same archetype as the previous two, and clearly it is effective. It's one of my favorites and worth grinding for. But in my opinion, this would go at number 1, except for the one thing that's coming back in the Age of Triumph coming out March 28th is the Fatebringer. So there's no use for the Fake Bringer, as the forums call this. If you can get one with an immediate perfect roll like this with Arcburn, hopefully. It might not have Arcburn, but it year 1 did, so there's not really, to them there is no need, like to most people, to the forums, to everybody, so there isn't, that's why it's not in full capacity. It's not the best, but yeah, this is great weapon to grind for. It comes out of the Undying Mind, Echo Chamber, and the new Nexus Strike. If you're going to farm for it, I suggest Echo Chamber on PlayStation and Undying Mind on Xbox, because the Nexus has it seems as if a lower drop rate for Imago than the others, and yeah, it's quite the gun worthy of your time. If you get one on the first try on any of these weapons, I envy you and may hate you, but probably not. And this is bringing us to the end of the video. Well, that was through a wall. This brings us to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below if you think that we should do more of these with different types of weaponry, and I may do a live commentary with one of these weapons eventually. Maybe all of them. Definitely the Imago, because this thing's amazing. It's very effective. And once again, it cannot compete with Hammer of Soul. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye to you all. Have a good one.